Hello everyone, thank you all for finding time and welcome to join Korchina TNC webinar. I'm Kuku Ai, trading team for Korchina TNC. Before we start, there is a Q&A session at the end of presentation. If you have any question, please feel free to drop a message here and we will answer your question during Q&A session. Also, you may click the above live chat red button and we will contact you shortly for further consultation. Thank you very much. Today, I'm going to present about the solution of trade in Hong Kong. The advantage of the import and export trade industry in Hong Kong. Why Hong Kong? Hong Kong is a free port. Import and export goods do not have to pay any tariff, nor do they have any tariff cottage or surcharge. Therefore, they have attracted investors from different countries to develop in Hong Kong over the decades. Together with Hong Kong's geography advantage, it is safe and sound for foreign capital to enter the mainland springboard. As the most important financial and business center in Asia, Hong Kong is also a leading location for trading companies. The special administration regions have advantageous policy for trade and import and export activity. There are three advantages for trade policy. The first one is no custom tariff for import and export. Hong Kong does not levy any custom tariffs on import or export, except there are four types of dutiable commodity, which are liquid, tobacco, hydrocarbon oil, and methyl alcohol. The second one is certificate of origin. The certification system is a facilitate local products to be exported outside Hong Kong by certifying their origin. Import do not request origin certification. The last one is exemption for import-export license. Subject to certain conditions, shipping companies, airline, and freight company that has registered with the Trade and Industry Departments is exempt from the import-export licensing requirement for their transshipment cargo. Import-export declaration. The Customs and Excise Department is responsible for the protection of Hong Kong against smuggling by enforcing license control on prohibits article through inspection of the cargo import and export by air, land, sea, searching aircraft, vessel, and vehicle entering and leaving Hong Kong. Let's see what is the document request and submission methods for customer clearance. The documents request include manifest, import-export license or removal permit if requested, copy of detention notice if applicable, other supporting documents such as a bill of lading, airway bill, invoice, and packing list. Submission methods. Lodged electronically through the free service provider appointed by the government. Those service providers are Bioelectronic Commerce Limited, Global E-Trading Service Limited, and Trading Electronic Commerce Limited. Or papers to electronic declaration conversion service provided by the service provider. Paper to electronic convert service to allow traders to continue to use paper form to lodge their document. With effective date 1st of August 2018, the declaration charge remained unchanged at the following rate. The government's charge for each declaration for goods imported, exported, or re-exported is capped at 200 Hong Kong dollars. Other than exempt items, it requires to lodge accurate and complete import-export declaration within 14 days after the shipment. Otherwise, it will incur late penalty. A penalty charge is required in respect of each declaration not lodged within 14 days after the importation or exportation of the goods. If the total values of articles stated in a declaration does not exceed 20,000 Hong Kong dollar, the penalty payable is 20, 40, 100 Hong Kong dollar depends on the dates of importation or exportation. If the total value is more than 20,000 Hong Kong dollar, the above penalty charge will be doubled to 40, 80, and 200 Hong Kong dollar respectively. Letters of credit in Hong Kong. A letter of credit is a letter from a bank guaranteeing that a buyer's payment to a seller will be received on time and for the correct amount. In case the buyer is unable to make a payment on the purchase, the bank will require to cover the whole or remaining amount of the purchase. The following is procedure of letters of credit. The processing for a letter of credit is involving four parties. There are buyer's bank is also referring to issuing bank. Seller, and seller's bank is also referring to advising bank. Let's see the flow of processing. Buyer will provide the sales contract to seller and request for a letter of credit from issuing bank. Then advising bank will receive the letters of credit cable from issuing bank and deliver the letters of credit cable to advising bank. Once seller ship out the goods to buyer, then seller will present related document to their advising bank. After that, advising bank will present document to issuing bank. At the end, issuing bank will check the document and owners or review. The delivery of goods is subject to a last shipment day. The presentations of documents by seller should be made within 21 days of the day of shipment. Letters of credit is a complex product for new importer and exporter. It's ideal to check the advantage and disadvantages of a letter of credit before opting for it. Let's see its benefits and drawbacks in detail. Safely expand business internationally. A letter of credit gives the trade partner an ability to transact with unknown partners or in newly established trade relationships. Highly customizable. Both the trading partners can put in terms and conditions as per their requirement and avoid at the mutual risk of costs. It can also be customized from one transaction to another with the same trading partners. Seller receives money on fulfilling terms. The bank has to just check whether the documents submitted by the beneficiary satisfy the terms and conditions specified in the letters of credit and pay the full amount. What's at a credit certificate for buyer? A letter of credit transfers the creditworthiness from the importer or buyer to the issuing bank. The importer can do multiple transactions at the same time. Seller is free of credit risk. Since the creditworthiness of the importer is transferred to the issuing bank, it is the bank's obligation to pay the amount as agreed in the letters of credit. Therefore, a letter of credit insures the exporter from the importer's business risk. Timely payment leads to better cash flow pending. A letters of credit provides certainty to the amounts and timing of the exporter cash flow. He can plan his financing needs well in a way which reduces his risk. Pre-shipment financing available to seller. The exporter can avail of pre-shipment financing against a letters of credit. This helps him in plugging the financing gap if any. Following is disadvantage. Additional cost. A letters of credit adds to the cost of doing business. Banks charge a fee for providing this service, and it can increase steeply if the parties want to put some additional feature. Currency risk. A letters of credit also carry forex risk. There will be an agreed upon currency in the letters of credit. At least one of the party will have a different currency than that, and hence they will face a risk due to currency fluctuation. Time bound. A letters of credit has an expiration date, and therefore the exporter has time limitations within which he will have to deliver the goods by all means. Risk of default by issuing bank. A letters of credit essentially transfers the credit worthiness from the importer to the issuing bank. So if the issuing bank defaults, there is still a payment risk to the exporter. Transferable letters of credit in Hong Kong. Now let's see about the transferable letters of credit. A transferable letters of credit is a type of financial guarantee, known as a letters of credit that additionally allows the first beneficiary to transfer some or all of the credit to another party, which creates a secondary beneficiary. The party that the first accepts the transferable letters of credit from the bank is referred to as the first, or primary beneficiary. The processing for transfer letters of credit is at least involving 6 parties. There are buyer's bank is also referring to issuing bank. Seller's bank is also referring to first advising bank. Supplier, and supplier's bank is also referring to second advising bank. Let's see the flow of the procedure. Issuing bank will send the letters of credit cable to the seller, which was through first advising bank. Then seller will arrange the transfer letters of credit application to first advising bank. Once the supplier receives the transfer letters of credit cable through second advising bank, the supplier will arrange ship the goods to buyer, then will submit original document to second advising bank. The second advising bank will send the documents to the first advising bank. After that, the seller receives the supplier's document from first advising bank, then they need to prepare the substitute document and submit them to first advising bank as well. First advising bank will replace the document and send them to issuing bank. Finally, issuing bank will check all documents and owner of reviews. What can be changed when transferring a letters of credit? The letters of credit amount and unit price may be reduced. The expiry date, latest shipment date, and period of presentation date may be curtailed. The names of the beneficiary is substituted for the name of the applicant, but if the applicant's name is required to be stated in any documents other than the invoice, this requirement must be adhered to. If any insurance document is required, the coverage may be increased to provide coverage as required by the original letters of credit. Following is the average cost of bank charge. You can take it as reference. We also welcome for you to leave a message to us if you would like to know the specific bank charge. Below excluding the bank charge outside of Hong Kong. Business license and permit in Hong Kong. Are you planning to start a business in Hong Kong? Some business activity in Hong Kong do request a license from a specific agent or departments of the Hong Kong government. Therefore, in addition to making good preparations for your business registration, one more important step to make your business run smooth is to examine if the company needs to apply for license and permit. It is an important step to know whether your business falls into activities that must have license in Hong Kong or not. Refers to below typical types of business that are required to apply for a business license in Hong Kong. The first one is an employment agency. A business that provides recruitment and placement service in Hong Kong is required to apply for a license with the Labor Department in order to operate in the jurisdiction. If you are granted a certificate of exemptions from the Commissioner for Labour under Section 52 of the Employment Ordinance, you will be exempt from the license application. The second one is education business. You need a license and permit in Hong Kong if you intend to start an education institution here. With a certificate or registrations of a school, you qualify for operate a kindergarten, vocational center, language school, accommodation school, childcare center, an enrichment center that offers certificate course, computer education center, a distance learning center, and nursery school. The third one is retail business. The type of the license will depend on the type of the good you intend to sell. However, that the required license and permits for a retail business can be varied from one type of good service to another. In other words, you may be asked for more than one license or permit if you sell different types of good service. Below are three popular licenses for a retail business in Hong Kong. There are retail license with the Department of Health and an animal boarding establishment license for operate a pet and accessories retail shop, and a business during license and permits for operate cosmetic, medical, pharmaceutical, and drug stores. The fourth is travel agency. With the travel agency's license, you are allowed to conduct tour offer, travel package, and transportation service. To be more specific, you can sell transportation ticket, organize a group of the tour, arrange hotel accommodation, and other relevant activities. The fifth is restaurant business. You ought to apply for a general restaurant license with the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department. However, before applying for the license, you must finalize your business permits. A restaurant operates will be tied closely to the food and beverage business. Therefore, it is also important for you to learn about other different types of license that may be required for the food business. Then you may need to apply below license as well. The sixth is financial service company. Please refer to below some most common types of license for your reference. Nobody can operate as a financial service business without a registry license and permit in Hong Kong. For example, you need to apply for a money lender's license for money lending business with the company's registry. For insurance business, you need to get the register as an insurance agent in Hong Kong. The seventh is trading company. Free trade policies is a pull factor for many people making investments in Hong Kong. The numbers of trading companies in Hong Kong is also proportional to its trading economic goals. If you wish to start an import or export business, you may apply for a specific import-export license, depends upon the types of goods you are dealing with. If you would like to know more detail, and please go through the government website. For a business trading in controlled goods, an import-export license for that types of goods is required. Below is instance some of popular import-export licenses for you. There are including dutiable goods, controlled chemicals, animal, foodstuffs, or medicine import-export license. The eighth is event management. With different types of specialized events, you are required to obtain specific license and permits in Hong Kong. Look at the following example to examine which activity your event company is falling into. Then apply the various license permit in need. You may need to apply for liquid license, certificate for advertising material, certificate of approval, lottery license, amusement with prizes license, food factory license. The last one is environmental protection. It is important to be aware of the laws regarding environmental protection in Hong Kong if your business is involving in polluting process. That's the end of our presentation today. We hope that the information we have shared is helpful for you. Now is Q&A time, so let us review the pre-questions from the customer first. Does the cargo sample need to be declared? Samples with a value below 1,000 Hong Kong dollars may not be declared, but please keep the relevant invoice. The government can ask you the reasons for not declared within 2 years. Sample with a value of 1,000 Hong Kong dollars or above must be declared. If it is not a sample, custom declaration is required regardless of the values of the goods. Which personal items need to be declared? The first one is article purchased by individual or shipped to from Hong Kong via freight companies, courier companies, other transport companies, whether for trade or personal use, must be declared. The second one is item purchased by individual outside Hong Kong and item carried in personal baggage for trade purpose upon returns to Hong Kong needs to be declared, with the exception of item for personal use. The last one is purchase and shipments by mail to Hong Kong worth more than 4,000 Hong Kong dollars require custom declaration. Those personal items need to be declared. What is the difference between a letter of credit versus bank guarantee? A letter of credit is an undertaking of payments given by the buyer's bank to the sellers for a specific sum provided the seller ship out the goods and present the required compliance documents to the buyer's bank by a predetermined deadline. The LC ensures the payment will be made as long as the services are performed. A bank guarantor guarantees a sum of money to a beneficiary. Unlike a letter of credit, the sum is only paid if the opposing parties does not fulfill the stipulated obligations under the contract. What is the risk of transferable letters of credit? A credit may be transferred in parts to more than one second beneficiary provided parcels, drawing, or shipments are allowed. A transfer credit cannot be transferred at the request of the second beneficiary to any subsequent beneficiary. It's necessary to apply license and permits for the liquid. According to the Dutiable Commodity Ordinance, Chapter 109, Laws of Hong Kong, any liquids and wine with the alcohol strength of not more than 30% by volume measured at a temperature of 20 degrees, no license and permit is required for the import, export, or removal of liquid. Is the food trader required to register separately for different types of food that he import distribute? Governments to make the registration more user-friendly and convenient to the public, a food trader is only required to register one for all the food that he import distribute. However, should he change the category and classification of the food that he import distribute after the registration, he is required to notify Director of Food and Environmental Hygiene within 30 days after change occurred. Now is live Q&A time. Do I have to provide a value for the sample? Yes, even though buyer doesn't normal charge for the sample, seller must declare any accurate value. If you're not sure what is the worth, ask yourself how much would these samples cost to replace. I opened a letter of credit to my supplier, but he did not ship the goods. Will banks refund my fee? Once the letters of credit is open, your fee cannot be refunded. We recommend to all of our clients that they need to assure themselves of their supplier's ability to perform before offering any bank instruction to them. Okay, that is all for our Q&A session. Hope today's webinar can help you to get to know more about trading in Hong Kong. That's the end of today's presentation. Please feel free to contact with us if there is any question. Thank you for all your time. We are Korchina TNC and hope to see you again on next webinar. Bye-bye.